You know, it feels great to have a deck that could eat me up, but then I'm like, I could totally eat the collective up with my own deck. And that's when I started getting an image of somebody underwater and they're trapped inside of like a swirling vortex and they're screaming. And obviously this has to do with a lot of wild emotions, but the aspect of it being underwater also makes me feel like it's a silent battle, whether that's on purpose, like you're hiding it from somebody, or because you're afraid to communicate it to someone else, you're afraid to be vulnerable or afraid of like what these emotions might bring up between you and someone else, or that it's more so a battle where it can't really be solved inside of you, not because you just need to talk to somebody, but also because you need to just experience life in order for the problems that you are worried about to actually be answered. So I have balance. I think this card is about, if this is someone else in this situation with you, is that there's two ends of the stick. Even if you feel like you are very intuitive and that you feel like you know exactly how this person is going to respond and like you've already seen patterns with this person, etc., whatever it might be, there's still always two ends of a stick. You never really know how a situation is going to turn out. That is why reality can be so fluid. There might be aspects that might come true that you might know of, but that natural bridge of incidents when it comes to communication and when it comes to reflection and what that conversation might bring up still leaves the situation open. You never really know how it will turn out until it happens. And even if you leave the situation with, damn, I knew that was going to happen, even if that still happens, at least it's still giving you something that you still wouldn't have known that you needed until it happened. And even if that moment still doesn't give it to you right away, it's always going to be one of those situations, like as time goes on and as you heal from the situation, you'll gain something that you never really thought you would. That is what experience does. And that's what leads to my other point with, if this is just about you, I feel like you need a balance with like intuition, anxiety, and emotional regulation. I feel like this collective doesn't even realize when they've gone into overthinking mode and when they've allowed their anxiety to allow them to stay stuck, and they're thinking, well, I'm just protecting myself, or like I'm just trying to see every angle possible, but you're just trying to keep yourself safe. You don't want to get hurt again, and um that keeps you away from the experience. It keeps you away from actually learning what you need to learn and just living. I also have the Master and a Sleep card. I feel like the angle is weird. Anyways, so I feel like this is kind of showing how you are not actually realizing your potential. It could be your anxiety getting in the way of you actually seeing what your potential is and what you're capable of, because you're so hell-bent on protecting yourself from getting hurt. Like, in this life, you are meant to be hurt. It is okay to be hurt at times, and it is okay to put yourself out there. And anxiety is going to always do the opposite of that. It's going to show you why you shouldn't put yourself out there and why you might not be capable of things. And that's how you know when it's not intuition anymore.